All right, so I've been asked to watch this video. I've actually seen the thumbnail for this video on my YouTube for several days now, and Chad has asked me to watch the video on stream. I have an idea what it's about already. So we'll have to kind of watch the video. It looks like it's just a little over 10 minutes. The title is WotLK Classic is doomed if this doesn't change. Doomed. You guys got that? It's doomed. All right, so let's see what this who's this guy's name? I don't think I'm like subscribed to him or anything. I'm not. CDank. I don't think I've ever watched a video of his before. So hopefully it's good. Let's see. Is it a good video, guys? It's doomed. Wrath of the Lich King is doomed.
It simply doesn't make sense for your average WoW player to waste their time actually playing the game anymore. It's gotten to the point where it's just
Look how sweaty this dude is. Look at this, like he's glistening with sweat. Oh my gosh.
Their time actually playing the game anymore. It's gotten to the point where it's just common sense to buy gold. It's become common sense to not play the game because playing the game.
All right. How many of you in chat buy gold? Be honest. How many of you guys have bought gold in the past? I'm not putting my hand up whether I have or not. You have? Gosh. All right, let's keep going. So it is about RMT, real money transfers, right? RMTs?
Game is now a stupid waste of your precious time. With real money transactions and the various services that you can now purchase with gold, you can now measure the value of your playtime in dollars per hour. And since WoW players typically try to do things in the most efficient way possible, it's only a matter of time before one starts calculating this figure in their head. The value of playing the game has gone down with every passing day as rampant, unmitigated botting injects more and more gold into our already broken economy. It leaves us in a situation where nobody wants to flip.
Hey. This is like, hold on. This is.
It's only a matter of time before one starts
are
calculating
these
this
rogues?
figure in their head. The value of playing the game has gone down with every passing day as rampant,
Is it the rogues are they in Hellfire Ramparts? I think that's the new one.
unmitigated
Hellfire
botting
Ramparts?
injects more and more gold into our already broken economy. It leaves us.
Oh, that's Black Rock. Oh, okay, that's from Classic. Check this out. Okay, check this out. This is slash who Ramparts Rogue 70. I think is it Ramparts that's Ramparts. Oh, there's nobody actually in there. Is it? It might not be Ramparts. It might be something else. But there's one now where it's like the new place for rogues to go, and they just it's just infiltrated, full of rogues. I can't remember which dungeon it is right now, but it's just brutal now. Anyways, this is it. Slave pens? No, I don't think it's slave pens. No, not slave pens. But there is a dungeon. Somebody showed it to me the other day, and I just did a slash who. Hold on. Nope. There is one where it's just full of fucking rogues. It's just brutal.
Us in a situation where nobody wants to flip burgers in Ogre Law for $2 an hour when they can just RMT and use that time to do literally anything else. But the time
If you worked for $2 an hour, you would probably be best off to actually farm gold and sell it on G2G, by the way.
that you spend in the game isn't supposed to have a monetary value tied to it. Playing WoW is supposed to be an escape from the real world. It's supposed to be something you do for the enjoyment of it, where the time that you spend playing and mastering the game is what makes your character powerful, not the size of your bank account. There are a few things at play here. Rapid inflation, the removal of the stigma around participating in real money transactions, and the increasing ease and safety of buying gold have inexorably led to money and gameplay becoming intertwined. Everything you do has a dollar price tag from the very moment that you first log on to a fresh character. Why would you waste your time leveling when you can just buy experience boosts and level faster than you could ever possibly hope to on your own? I mean, everyone else is doing it, right? This is a sad fact that becomes exceedingly clear as you walk around the vast, dead, empty realm that supposedly houses 30,000 other players in it. You begin to wonder, why should I even bother putting in the effort leveling this character legitimately if nobody else is? I think a lot of us knows what this feels like. Doing all those quests is time consuming and we've all done it before.
Do you guys think Blizzard's action plan or whatever it is that they're doing? In chat, tell me, do you guys think that their action plan to dramatically reduce the amount of XP that you get. If you have somebody in your group that the mobs are great to. I first of all like started proposing this like over like 2 years ago on stream. Like, why the fuck don't they just make it so you get no XP in dungeons if somebody is that high up above you in levels? And now they're finally doing it. Like, way too late. Why level? Because I want. Yeah, because you want to. Well, I mean, you guys see me leveling. I'm leveling a new mage all the way up to 70. I'm doing it on stream. But do you guys because they're stupid. Well, we know that, but do you guys think that's enough? Like, Blizzard obviously does not do nearly enough to get rid of bots in the game. They're not even trying. Like, let's be honest, they're not even trying. And they come and give you, like, you see these interviews where they've got, like, one of the developers and they're like, well, you know, it's really hard to find these guys. And it's like, no, not really. Actually, you can actually just park one, like, some employee, which you haven't, you know, you don't have any because you, like, fired them all a few years ago. Remember all the customer service dudes you fired? You could have just somebody sitting, like, watching the entrance of these dungeons that people are leveling in, and watch for bots. You could have like one person like watch like 10 different realms at one time, and just sit there and watch the bots that are coming in and coming out, and just start banning them. They could do it. They just choose not to. Anyways,
Knowing that there exists
this is about RMTs. I'm getting angry now and getting off topics.
an option to fast forward through it all makes doing it by hand feel like a waste of time. Boosting and RMT and botting problems are not new issues and have always existed in the game to some degree, but it's grown completely out of scale. Let me show you. If you want an idea for how bad inflation has gotten, 1,000 gold 1 year ago was worth $53 in what was already considered a broken economy. Today, you can buy the same amount for $7, and this is more or less what you can
$7? Holy shit. Holy crap, man. $7?
expect to spend on a piece of tier loot in a GDKP. Think of the amount of work that would normally go into getting a piece of tier on a fresh character. I mean, first you'd have to progress through.
Chat, I need 3 Twitch primes right now in chat, please. 3 Twitch primes so I can go get myself 1,000 gold, please.
Normals, and then heroics for pre-bis, and then join a Kara guild and get some T4, then move on to T5 and learn the fights. And I mean, all of this can be undermined just by joining a GDKP the same day you hit level 70 and spending $7 worth of gold. The craziest part about gold being
wait, you can't go to a GDKP with 1,000 gold.
Is cheap is that all the quests and vendorable items are still giving the same amount of gold as they were before. They don't adjust based on inflation. Their value just decreases. So it's not surprising that people feel less motivated to go out and play the game when you know that doing a quest at level 70 will reward you with about 7 cents of gold for your effort. The ends no longer justify the means. Every time a player completes a quest or loots the silver off of a mob or sells an item, they inject new money into the economy, which increases the supply and effectively reduces the value of every other gold piece in the game by some small amount. This is typically mitigated by in-game gold sinks like repair costs or epic flying or those expensive bags in Chatrat, which remove large amounts of gold from circulation and keeps gold scarce and valuable. The problem is that bots have been farming raw gold unabated for years, so the value of the gold that you get from completing a quest in 2022 is worth a fraction of what it used to be in 2008. To give perspective, a woman literally sold her body for epic flying in
This was... How much did she get? Hold on. She wants 5,000 gold. Guys, that's 35 bucks. That's 35 bucks. You know, 35 bucks, chat. Wow.
2007. The price of gold back then was about $72 for 1,000, which, adjusting for IRL inflation, epic flying would have cost about $500, and today...
Wait a second. So it costs, how much did he say it cost back then? 70 gold? So like 350 bucks then, 360. $360, is that right? Math? Yes, I think that's right. $360. Okay. I mean, I don't know anything about, you know, the sex trade, but I think you might be able to get something a little bit better uh for $360. I don't know, but
Adjusting for IRL inflation, Epic Flying would have cost about $500 in today's money through RMT, which is the price of a pretty decent escort. I mean,
500, I just did the math. Wasn't it 70 gold per 1,000? Is that what he said? Did I do the math
body
wrong?
for Epic Flying in 2007. The price of gold back then was about $72 for 1,000, which
Yeah, so 72, that's 360, right? 360 for 5,000 gold.
adjusting
That's
for
math is
IRL
wrong.
inflation, Epic
IRL
Flying would have
inflation,
cost
okay.
about $500 in today's money through RMT.
Yeah, I don't know anything about hold on, look at this. Look at this, chat. I've got you know, since we've been watching this video, I've had like 3 people asking me if I want to do different dungeons. Buy RMT gold and get to 70 in 2 days, 3 days. All right, I'm just kidding. I don't actually want people to buy gold. I actually really don't. I like really.
Which is the price of a pretty decent escort. I mean, not a bad deal. Good for her, but
Wait, he stole my idea. It's about the price of a decent escort. I was just guessing. I'd have no idea. Really, would have no idea. This guy actually made a character named Decent Escort.
if the gold economy at the time were the same as it is today, it would have only cost her $30 to just buy the gold instead. And maybe you can start to see the problem here. So not only has gold become cheaper than ever, but real money transactions are now perceived as commonplace and acceptable. And on top of that, gold sellers and buyers have figured out how to avoid getting detected. When the stigma around buying gold is gone, when gold is easier to afford than ever, when it's easy to avoid being caught, and when everyone else is doing it, it's hard to feel good about going out and doing your dailies when you know your hard work is worth only about $2 an hour.
You know what the problem is? Is the people that are playing this game legitimately. Okay, so you guys all know I have 10 tailors. That's how I make my gold. 10 tailors and 5 alchemists. I do my tailoring every 4 days. That's how I've made a good, huge chunk of my gold. Plus, I did the druid farm, and that's how I've made my gold. But the problem is most people can't play this game full time, and they come on, they play for 2 or 3 hours or whatever it is, and they can't keep up with the amount of gold that is required to buy the items that you need in order to raid, because the prices have gone up so high that for the cost of what it would have cost you to raid, say, whatever, 15 years ago, you could go out and farm that in a few hours. You can't do that anymore unless you've got like a mage or a paladin or something like that. Then possibly you could do something to farm gold. But the average Joe Blow who's playing an effing warrior or something like that, they can't keep up. And it's almost to a situation where they're forced to have to sit there and go and buy gold. And then you know what happens? Then Blizzard catches them and they ban them. I'm not going to say who it was, but there's a warrior that is in my guild who got banned for 2 or 3 weeks because he couldn't farm enough gold in order to do it. And you know what most people's response is? We'll just do a GDKP. But he doesn't want to do a GDKP. He wants to actually play with his guild. And people are like, well, just get an alt and go into a GDKP. If you don't have the time to level up an alt and also do GDKPs and stuff like that, you're screwed. You can't play this game with a guild and be able to afford the consumes that you need in order to raid. You're forced to sit there and actually buy gold. It's like, and then you get punished. You're the one that gets caught by Blizzard. The bots are still running, but it's those players that are getting busted.
And the downstream effects of this have been massive. And that brings me to GDKPs. Way to gear up. Even
I just talked about this. I literally just talked about this. Did I skip ahead? Oh.
Brings me to GDKPs. See, they and of themselves aren't the real issue here. It really doesn't affect me if the top 1% of the server swings their giant golden cocks around.
I don't like GDKPs because it encourages people to buy gold. I don't have a problem with the idea behind a GDKP. I have a problem with it because of what it pushes onto the community.
At each other. The problem is when it became
The video?
the way to gear up. Even for a new player who just hit 70, the vast majority of the gold being traded in these GDKPs wasn't acquired through working the auction house or farming. It's been acquired through
Are you telling me Joker didn't make that? He makes that gold by himself.
illicit means. People are going to G2G and buying it, and anyone who pretends otherwise is absolutely delusional. The fresh 70 pure buyer in your raid did not come up with 45,000 gold while they were doing quests in Nagrind. See, the people playing this game generally have a little disposable income. They're likely in their late 20s or early 30s, they're playing on a modern gaming PC with broadband internet, and they can afford a $15 a month subscription fee. Odds are very good they have a few extra dollars laying around to spend on microtransactions. Blizzard knows this, and that's why they put a store in retail. So the general common sense advice to a new player just hitting 70 has become, go buy some gold. The increased demand for all this gold comes from GDKPs. This is a problem that feeds into itself and will only get worse over time, because the demand for gold will only increase as more and more people use GDKPs as their main source of raiding, and that means more botting, more real money
I'm going to tell you something as well. As a guild leader, GDKPs are actually a problem for keeping people in the raid, because one of their very real options is, I'm just going to go do GDKPs. Like, it's easy for them to sign up. They can make gold while doing it. It's actually, unless you're like, our guild has been very successful. We week one full clear, or week two this in Sunwell, week two full cleared. We're very successful. We get through everything in one night. You know, Sunwell and Black Temple. That's something that a lot of people look to. But if you're a guild that is struggling right now, you'll have players just leave, and it's they don't even have to leave for a better guild. They can leave and just go to a GDKP. Like, it's a real problem trying to keep people if your guild is suffering, right? Is not doing too well.
Transactions and more inflation.
Some GDKPs are better than guilds also. Well, yeah, it is, but the top guilds will always be better than GDKPs. Like, if you look at the guys that are week one full clearing and stuff like that, very few GDKPs are actually full clearing week one. Like, very few. Yeah, you could throw some names out there that they may full clear the first week, but overwhelmingly the best raids are guild raids because they're more organized. GDKPs are meant to have your 10, maybe 12 or 15 people that are carrying the raid, and then a bunch of scrubs that are just bringing gold, basically, right? There's very few really good GDKPs where everybody top to bottom is a really good raider, and they've just got an organized GDKP with the exact same people. I mean, why would you don't want to bring the same people to every GDKP. You want to bring different people, right? You want to bring people that are there to buy. And if you're bringing the same people every week, eventually you're going to get to a point where nobody's buying anything and your GDKP is not making any money. So you're not bringing the same people. You're bringing like 10 core people and then filling out the rest with people that have gold. So your GDKPs are very not, or they're not doing nearly as well as your average, as a decent guild. And I'm talking about a guild that full clears week one, maybe week two. If there's guilds out there that they still haven't full cleared in one night, or they're maybe even still having trouble killing the last couple of bosses in Sunwell, their better players are probably going to say, you know what, I'm out. And even if they don't find, they don't even have to find another guild. They can just dip and just go find a GDKP. They can just do that, because why are they wasting their time? If you're not closely related as with close tight knit guild, you're gonna have people that are just like, nah, I'm out. We're lucky we clear stuff. We get that shit down, and our members are happy to be able to do a nice easy run and not have a bunch of stupid wipes and stuff like that. Whereas at a GDKP, you're still gonna get that.
It will only continue to grow because people want their loot and they want it now. And somehow, WoW players think this is okay because the shop they're buying from isn't located directly inside of the game, and the money isn't going directly to Blizzard. Well, it's still going to Blizzard though. All those botters are paying customers too. But imagine if when Blizzard had announced WoW Classic, they also announced it was going to have a WoW token and a pay-to-win shop where you can buy tier sets and warglaives and mounts. How outraged would everyone have been at this idea? And do you realize this is the current state of the game that we're all—
Would you guys have played if they had all that stuff on a shop? Would you have actually played Classic? I probably would have stayed on private servers.
Playing right now? The same people who lambast Lost Ark for being a pay-to-win game are the same—
Okay. This is getting out of hand, Asmund.
People who are spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on botted gold to throw around in GDKPs. The hypocrisy is astounding, and the absolute worst part of it is that it's eroded away the social fabric of the game that we love.
This is the second part that I really hate about GDKPs. The thing that I love about a guild is it's a group of friends who are coming together and they're really trying to work together as a team to play well, and they do this over the course of many months to drive through content. And you don't have that in GDKP. I've been in GDKPs before. Hell, our guild ran them. You know, but it was, you know, the same 6 or 10 people or whatever that were core people in our guild that were basically dragging people through SSC, TK, and Black Templar or whatever, right? And I don't enjoy GDKPs because you don't really get used to the people unless, you know, you're one of the 5 or 10 people that are the core people. But I like having 25 people. Hell, you know what I like better? I like having 40-man raids. I like I'm not kidding you. I love the 40-man raids in Classic and having it be the same people every week, and you become close, tight-knit, you know, friends with each other. I like that way better.
Everything that drew you into MMOs in the first place was collectively traded for an antisocial convenience. The supply of players looking for a guild to do progression has dried up completely. It's really a tough sell trying to recruit people into a progression guild with scheduled raid times when any time of the day, any day of the week, they can just jump into a GDKP and get whatever gear they want whenever they want it. And most of the better players are trying to gear up in the most efficient way possible, so even if you tried making a guild, you're not really left with much to pick from. It's all a mad race to the top. And for what? To pump, to parse, to do big damage with your ill-gotten RMT gear? So what? So you can clear raids as efficiently as possible? To amass huge piles of gold from carrying noobs? We're all caught up in this pointless rat race, but is it even what we really want to be doing? I don't know about the rest of you, but when I was feeling nostalgia for Classic, when I was thinking about how great it would be to go back and re-experience the magic, I wasn't dreaming about speedrunning and GDKPs. But I digress. So
I don't mind the idea of speedrunning, but GDKPs, like I said, I don't care much for it.
So, how do we fix this broken economy? Well, there are a few solutions. The simplest one is just to pay some damn GMs. I mean, Blizzard stands to gain a...
I mentioned this earlier too, that they fired hundreds of people. This isn't the problem, is Blizzard they just do not want to do anything to fix the problem. They band-aid solution this shit. They don't actually want to do anything to fix the problem.
A lot more from the game being in a good state than they would ever lose out on from paying the salary of a few customer service employees. But since that's not going to happen, well, why not just inflate the gold values in the game, like times 100? I mean, instead of getting 10 gold from a quest, you get 1,000. And like, instead of paying 5k for epic flying, it's now 500k. This would severely decrease the value of the piles of gold that suppliers are hoarding, and it would make going out and farming the best way to make money again. I think this is a little more friendly than a straight up gold reset, because you're technically not taking the money away from players, you're just adjusting for inflation. The downside is that people who have a lot of legit gold would be getting shafted pretty hard, but what other options are there? Well, the best thing I can think of is for them to just launch fresh servers.
What other options?
Give people the choice to start over from...
This like fresh servers. If I did not have a guild that I was running going into Wrath, I would be playing on the Wrath fresh server. And even when TBC came out, I was telling people I would love for there to be fresh TBC servers because that's where I was going to play. Even though I had so many 60s, I was like, I want to play. Because at the time, remember, Tyrants wasn't together at that point. I was playing on Ferlina with a guild, but Tyrants had stopped playing with each other for a little bit. When we stopped playing on Heartseeker, I came back to Ferlina, or I kept playing on Ferlina, and you know the rumors were like, you know, is there going to be fresh TBC? Is there not? And I was like, if there's fresh TBC, I'm going there for sure. But now I've got a guild, 2 full raids, full clearing, Sunwell. The chances of me being able to convince all of those people to go to a fresh server, that's just not happening. In fact, I think I would be in the minority to do that. And I've got 10 tailors that are making me gold. Like, a lot of these people are already established. And they're like, why am I giving all that up? And keep in mind, you go to a fresh Wrath server, I guarantee you within weeks, that server's economy is screwed up because of bots, because Blizzard won't do jack shit.
Level 1 in a pristine economy, or let them stay on their dumpster fire real money transaction servers if they want to. At least give us the option. And while you're at it, enable these same
Wait, hold on, let me go back and what did he hold on.
be getting shafted pretty hard, but what other options are there? Well, the best thing I can think of is for them to just launch fresh servers. Give people the choice to start over from level 1 in a pristine economy, or let them stay on their
They are doing fresh servers, right? They are doing fresh servers. That's been confirmed, I think.
dumpster fire real money transaction servers if they want to. At least give us the option. And while you're at it,
But it's not going to fix the problem. You're going to have bots on those fresh servers. Like, that's the problem. The problem isn't going to be solved by just having fresh servers. The problem is not going to be solved until Blizzard actually does something.
enable these same anti-botting and anti-boosting
The
measures
problems will be fucked within a couple of months.
that you have on Season of Mastery. You'd obviously have to close off transfers from existing servers onto the fresh ones to prevent the piles of dirty money from crashing the new economy. And it would probably be ideal if they turned off boosts on those servers for a while too. Level boosts are how botters are able to farm so efficiently and make so much money despite the ban waves. Most of us would love to see them gone.
So here's a problem with botting, and I've said this forever, is botting is like if someone could design me a bot, I'm not kidding you, okay, and give it to me so that I can run bots from my computer, I would be tempted to do it. And I'm going to tell you why, because you could sell your gold on G2G. I haven't done it, but you can sell your gold on G2G. You can have just these bots run and level people up and stuff like that. People will go to G2G, they'll buy their gold, they'll give it to you, and then you sell it back to them on G2G. And it's just a continuous cycle. So it's one of the major ways for bots to make gold back is by selling these farm runs. Now, by this is why I said like a year ago that they need to completely eliminate or dramatically reduce how much XP you get in dungeons. And I don't mean this 60% bullshit that they did before. I mean like 99%, or no XP. You get no XP in dungeons. The only thing you go into dungeons for are the better items that you get for loot. Like, for example, the Crescent Staff. If I got no XP in Wailing Caverns, I would still go to Wailing Caverns to get the Crescent Staff. I'd still go run it. I'd just run it once, and then that would be it. Or when you get all of your quests for that dungeon, those quests, the XP that you get in those quests are the XP that you would get from killing all the mobs in the dungeon are added to the quest XP. So you do all the quests in the dungeon, you hand in those quests, and then you get all the XP that you would normally get if you full cleared the entire dungeon and handed in the quest. And then you'd have no reason to go do the dungeon again unless you wanted a particular item or something like that. But you wouldn't get continuous XP over and over and over and over again. It would be done, it would be over. And then bots wouldn't be able to boost people. Bots wouldn't have that particular way of getting gold back into their pockets to resell to you. And because they couldn't get that amount of gold, that's probably 90% of their gold that they get is by doing that. Probably maybe 75%, let's say. And if you take out suddenly 75% of the gold that bots are able to make in the economy, that's going to drive the price of gold up to the point where people are going to be like, you know what? Now suddenly it's $50 and whatever. It's $50 for 1,000 gold. Then suddenly people are like, you know what? I'm not fucking spending that. You know, like do something like that. Do something that's actually gonna. Now we'll see how this XP nerf hurts the bots, but we'll see. It's got to be something that really stings though. It's got to be like a massive.
But we know that'll never happen, so we have to think a little bit more realistically. Well, how about if Blizzard does nothing? Is there really no hope for the game? Will things ever go back to play to win instead of pay to win? Well, I've thought of a final solution, and that's why I'm taking matters into my own hands. If Blizzard does nothing, then I'll be left with no choice but to... just kidding. If Blizzard does nothing, then it's truly up to us to create the game that we want to play. That's why I'm here to announce a very special guild that I'll be leading for WotLK Classic. The goal here is to create a community of players who choose to play the game the way it's meant to be played. So we're not only not participating in GDKPs, but we're also going into the raids completely blind. Yes, no DBM, no guides, completely blind. These raids are filled with awesome...
Is this whole video an advertisement for his guild? I feel like we've been duped here. This whole video is an advertisement for this guild that he wants to start. This is... Oh my god.
Some fun puzzles.
This is kind of brilliant, actually.
To solve with your friends. But since WoW players...
do you think that this guy actually sat there and was like, yeah, I want to start a new guild. This is kind of the idea I have. How am I going to recruit people for this guild? I know. I'm going to make a video talking about all this crap that, you know, we don't like about the game, and we're gonna have people in the guild that are just, oh my god. Oh my god. That's brilliant, man. I give this guy a thumbs up as soon as we're done.
And to optimize the fun out of everything, this aspect of the game has been completely invalidated by the ubiquity of strategy videos and guides available on the internet, so we're just not going to use them. These modern conveniences have robbed the game of one of the most interesting aspects of raiding, working together as a team, devising strategies to overcome difficult challenges. So screw DBM, we're going to forge our own glorious path from Naxxramas to ICC. We're going to recapture that old school community feeling by shunning these conveniences and choosing to do things the hard way. Why would someone want to do this, you might ask? Well, think of it like hunting. Sure, you could go to the grocery store and buy some chicken and ground beef, but does it feel the same as camping out in the woods and tracking down a deer? Of course not. The thrill of the hunt,
Of course not. I don't have to fucking kill anything.
and the opportunity to be immersed in nature with all of its beauty are rewarding experiences in and of themselves. There's a reason why people go hunting for food despite the fact that there's a McDonald's or a Burger King on every street, because the feeling of earning it offers a far deeper sense of appreciation. I'm going to release another video soon with more details about the guild, so if you're someone who wants to experience Wrath the way it was meant to be played, join my Discord and sign up here, and there'll be more details inside. Anyway, that's my rant. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and at the end of the day, I don't blame anyone for the state of the game. It's just human nature, and people will always tend to move toward the path of least resistance. I'm not here to tell you how to play. Do whatever makes you happy, and after all, the reason why the game is in the state that it's in is because a lot of people seem to like it. I just wish Blizzard would step in and do something for those of us who don't. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.
We just watched a 10-minute and 33-second advertisement for a guy's guild, and we didn't find out until about 9.5 minutes into the video. That is... Anyways, a lot of the points that he talked about we've already discussed many, many times. Obviously, RMT is a major problem in the game. The main problem in the game is Blizzard's not actually doing shit to actually get rid of it. So they're not doing anything to really dramatically curtail bots' ability to actually make gold. And that's the problem. Take away their ability to make gold in a lot of different ways, and suddenly you have less people. The price of gold will skyrocket, and the amount of people that are willing to actually spend money on gold will plummet. And then those regular players that just want to be able to go into game and farm for a few hours to make some gold to be able to buy their consumes will actually be able to farm enough gold because the prices of items will come down as well. You can just go do your dailies or whatever and make whatever amount of money. It's guaranteed every day. You can just make that amount of money and then buy the items because the price plummets. That is a very, very brilliant guild advertisement video. That's amazing. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, guys, I will be reviewing more videos. Hope to maybe do at least a few a week. If you liked my review, please like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I stream 6 days a week on Twitch at twitch.tv/Alodar, generally starting at around 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks a lot. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.